welcome, my friend, to Dragunity current June 2020 deck profile / combo guide video, because we have both of these, and we have a combo and we have a deck profile, so we're going to see that. But before we begin, a few particular messages as usual. First off, the giveaway have ended, so the name of the winner should appear on screen right now. And I'm going to say this: just because you didn't win this box from Cypher Cards and myself in the terms of the giveaway, that doesn't mean you're not going to have another chance. That's right, Cypher Cards is still going to keep doing his things every single week or 2 weeks, depending on that, on Twitter or in Discord. And I myself are going to do a giveaway once we'll get to 2,000, because we are going to get monetized pretty soon, as well as seen in my analytics, because we are just missing like 30 hours or so, and then we'll just be able to essentially like get monetization to the channel, and that means money to the channel. Money to the channel means new cards for deck profiles, and also mean money for giveaway. So yeah, we'll do that. And I'm going to say this: if you were able to get me to 2,000 at the end of this year, before 2021, the giveaway will be bigger. So just going to give you a little bit of a challenge there. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for that. And a subscriber a day, keep the depression away. So if you want to help the channel even without a giveaway idea, this is just going to be the cherry on top. Just hit the subscribe button and also like the video if you just want to see a little bit more. And comment for me for the question of the day: what is your favorite Dragunity monster? That will be very, very interesting and in topic. But without further ado, let's jump right into the table, shall we? Alright, so for the Dragunity deck, we're going to start off with 3 copies of Dragunity Mistletoe, 3 copies of Dragunity Senatus, 3 copies of Dragunity Phalanx, and lastly 2 copies of Dragunity Kuz. I didn't really want to, take more of your time because, yeah, I already talked for like 2 minutes and a half, but I would say this: these are the only good Dragunity monsters, which will go over them really quickly, but I'm hoping with the new structure deck, which we are going to see in the OCG at the end of August, which I think like comes to us in like 2021, or like the end of the end of 2020. I'm hoping that will be like really good structure deck to us, because I just really like Dragunity. But anyway, Armor Mistletoe is just like, if you have like Dragunity, you just send to the graveyard, then you equip one of these to it, and then you just like become kind of like a weird special summoning, which is not that great, but still really nice. Senatus is pretty much the most important one. You pretty much discard a card, then equip a Dragunity tuner, and then you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn from the extra deck except dragons, but I don't really care. Phalanx is the better tuner of the two. It just can special summon itself, and soft ones per turn, same as this, but this one doesn't restrict you for only Dragunity. This is better in some situations because it can become level 4. And it just sometimes just helps you with some particular combos, which is really important, but you only need to run 2, because 3 of this one is just definitely. But this is pretty much the Dragunity lineup, the 11 Dragunities, which I think are just really good. Next up, for the rest of the cards, pretty much, we're going to start off with the, should I say, Winged Beast support, which is 1 copy of Zephyrus the Elite, and then 3 copies of Garuda, right? This one, and then 1 copy of Baby Rock. These are your so-called Winged Beast support cards. These are just really good. Garuda is just, you banish Wind, it's just a free special summon. Baby Rock, you discard it, it's part of your combo, which you will see, and then you're going to get like a free special summon. And Zephyrus the Elite, Semi-Deer, you just bounce something back. So these are just like your like extenders that you want to search. But this one is just really cool until we'll get like a better level, 4 like Dragunity, because Dux unfortunately kind of sucks. Then we'll move on to the rest of the support for the main deck, which is Dragon support. We're running 1 copy of Red MD, 1 copy of Tempest, 2 copies of Dark Worm, 1 copy of Gate 0. These are pretty much self-explanatory. The Gate 0 maybe not, but I run Gate 0 because I can search it, and sometimes it does come up as weirdly as it sounds. But if you don't want to, and you also just want to run 1 Dark Worm, you're more than welcome to do that. I just really like this. Tempest is just banishable by Gold Sark and just a free search for your Dragunity Armor Mistleton, and generally it's also not really bad to activate this effect generally. And this one I do play in a combo, I'm just going to say in advance, with like the errata version, because the errata version is just going to drop up really around the corner. I believe it's supposed to be in the Legendary Duelist set, like repackaging 1, or should I say like the forgot the name of it. The Legendary Duelist Collection, right, that one. So it should drop there, and this one is just a free special summon, which is really good. And lastly, for your monsters, 2 ones that you're probably going to ask yourself why, I run 1 copy of Glyph and 1 copy of Lickery. Glyph you're probably not asking yourself, but Lickery maybe. But I would say this, there is a particular card in the extra deck, which I'm going to show you right now, which is this guy right here. He can search every single time as soft once per turn, to pretty much add a level 4 or lower Dragon Winged Beast monster or Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand, and then you discard 1 Dragon or Winged Beast monster. So one of the things that you do in the combo is that like you find a way to add this to your hand, you discard another Dragon or a Winged Beast, and then you just pretty much keep this in your hand as a combo piece, which is pretty cool. And this also, just like you have 2 of these, you can have like a way to deal with like extra deck monsters and a way to deal with spells for your opponent, which is really nice. It could be switched for anything else, like, you know, in the Amorphage lineup is level 4 or lower, depending on the format, of course, but I think Lickery is just really good every format, because spells are important. Also, it will be turned off on your turn. Just going to say that because it's going to tribute this, and you are not only going to summon this with Hermetic Seal, so do not worry of this being run over very easily. So that's also for that. That's pretty much does it for the monsters. Now we'll move on to the spells. First off, we have only spells, not traps, but we are in 3 copies of Dragon Ravine, 1 copy of Terraforming, and 2 copies of Dragunity Divine Lance. These 5 are searchable by a Ramulus. Terraforming is just really good to search the 4th copy. I am not like going to run a 5th copy with set rotation, even though it could be nice. I just really don't think set rotation is that great. Dragunity Divine Lance does come up a lot. You just equip either a Kuz or a Phalanx, and it's just really useful. So these 6 spells are just really nice. Then you're playing revival spells. You're playing 2 World Legacy Guard Dragon and 1 copy of Monster Reborn. I was considering maybe cutting this down to 1 and run one of the World Legacy Succession, but this one is just really good working with dragons, and for the fact that it's also a way to fix yourself if you just did a little bit of an oopsie with your link arrows. So that's really cool. I like this one a lot for that. It's just really awesome for the fact that it just helps you fix your link arrows, or should I say like link monsters arrangements and stuff like that, which is really nice. But it's also a nice revival of level 4. But I'm going to say this, if you want to run 1 copy and then 1 copy of World Legacy Succession, that's also very much acceptable. Then for your sending to graveyard cards, we're running 2 copies of Dragon Shrine and 1 copy of Foolish Burial. I don't think I need to explain this one. This is just send Dark Worm or whatever you need to the graveyard, which is really nice. So that's really cool about that. And then lastly, you're running 1 copy of Upstart Goblin and 1 copy of Gold Sark for your utility cards. Gold Sark is for Tempest, and this one is just to running a 39 deck consistency, which is pretty much self-explanatory in decks like these. And then lastly, 3 copies of Call by the Grave. You don't want to get hand-trapped, which is really important. I don't myself run here, as you've seen, hand-traps. They are in the side, which you will see at the end. But the point is, it's just going to be like a way to just like going first kind of a deck. Which is like, you know, this is just a rogue deck, and I'm hoping, like I said, the support will make this deck better. And if like the support will make this better, we're probably going to also run hand traps. But for the time being, like I said, it's just more of fun rogue deck with the ability to touch other things. But that pretty much does it for the main deck, and I'll move on to the extra. First off, 1 copy of Dragunity Knight Loon. This one needed a little bit of an explanation. Yeah, sure, I know it's a tuner. Yeah, sure, it's not as good as sometimes as the other. But as you see its material, if you're able to see, and if this will focus, I think it can focus enough, it should be writing down the Dragunity tuner plus a non-tuner monster, meaning that unlike the others, you don't need a Winged Beast for this one. You can even use something like Dark Worm. and it just pretty much equip a Dragunity monster to this card. Any Dragunity monster, doesn't have to be a tuner or a dragon or whatever. If this card, and like you get to pretty much like equip it every time it's special summoned. And if this card's sent to the graveyard, you can target one Dragunity monster you control and equip it, and then it's gain 1000 attack, which sometimes does come up when you're trying to OTK, but mostly it doesn't really matter. But the point is, it does come up sometimes. But the most important thing, like I said, is the fact that this guy is just a generic level 6. Sure, it's a synchro tuner that will equip a tuner, which sometimes doesn't work, but nah, it's fine, I guess. And if you were ever... If Hockey Firebrex was a dragon, yeah, this deck would have been broken. Anyway, one copy of Giveback. This is the card that I talked about in a lot of the combos, just being able to just not a soft once per turn, search something, dump it, like a Winged Beast or a Dragon level 4, dump it, and like jump another one of them, or it, which is also sometimes really useful. So like searching Zephyrus the Elite, searching Mist Valley Baby Rock, it's just really useful. And then one copy of Adriana for mostly your awkward hands / like trying to OTK. This one sometimes come up in combos, not really a whole lot, but the fact is, like, this one is the counterpart for this one for not being a tuner, so sometimes this is just really useful to like bring out a Crystal Winner or something, so that's really useful in that regard. Then one copy of Barcha. Barcha is your, just equip as much tuners as possible from grave. You can equip up to 5. You mostly just equip 3. In the combo you'll see me equip 3, but you don't really going to equip more than that, and just really useful to have as like an extender. You don't need 2 because your extra deck is pretty tight, and just we're going to go like in a particular 1 combo, but it's just really nice to have. And lastly, one copy of Escalon for the Dragunity stuff, because it's mostly here for being like just a good go second card, and it's really good go second card. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Then for your negation stuff, one copy of Crystal, one copy of Savage. This could be switched for a second Crystal if you want to, or something else. Dragon negation related. Sorry, I'm tired. Probably good to be a second Crystal if you want to, but I just like 1-in-1, just really helpful and really useful. Then for the first proxy, Dragon Entomb. It's just really good. It's part of the combo. It's summon like something like Red MD from the deck, which is really cool. Yeah, it's just really useful, and it is part of Dual Power, which I'm going to get 1 copy of that card specifically. Then for your links, 1 copy of LP, 1 copy of Pisty, Guard Dragon combo, 1 copy of a Heretic Seal. Surprisingly, is a card that I'm not going into that much, but still a really important card in a lot of decks, or just like a lot of like some combos, and also just to end off. 1 copy of Romulus, search for Dragon Divine Lance or Dragon Ravine. That's pretty much what it does. 1 copy of Triple Burst. It's just really good with the Guard Dragon stuff. Then the other proxy, 1 copy of Darkness Metal, the promo that we got from I think like a year ago. The promo that just like the level like rank 4 or rank 4, link 4, like the new retrain of Red MD, which yeah, it's just being able to summon something from the grave and then negates effect and shuffle it during the like after it leaves the field, and also giving you the ability to like, you know, not link summon, like not giving you the ability but not link summon for the rest of the turn. It's just pretty much what it does. And it's really useful and a very key card to ending your combos. And lastly, 1 copy of Saryuja Skoldred. Saryuja Skoldred is mostly here because of its Saryuja Skoldred. It's not really useful for anything else than its like 3 effect. You don't use it for its 4, but for its 3 effect, sometimes it's come up. I didn't really find anything else I want to put, and just this one's just like just being very useful in that regard. So that's why I decided to run it. But that's pretty much does it for that deck profile overall. This is pretty much what it is. Not really a whole lot of side, like, you know, things like Ash Blossom, stuff like that. There will be in the side, which I'll explain my reason for it. But without further ado, let's jump right into the side, shall we? As for the side deck, as usual, again, as I said in the Tenyi video, it's up to personal preference. And this one specifically, it's even more easier, I would say, to build. Because the side deck here is mostly going to be free off of everything, or should I say all of it is going to be free off of everything, because the deck itself is going to be a little bit more of like, how should I say this? Oh yeah, it's even more rogue than Tenyi, so building up the side deck is, it's really depend on your meta, and they really depend on where you at from.
And until we'll get the new cards for, hopefully for Dragunity, that are going to be good, I believe that this side deck is going to stay like this, which is 3 Ash, 3 Crow, 3 Effect Veiler because we want to be on a budget, for those that are on budget, 3 Dark Ruler No More, and 3 Cosmic Cyclone. And this is pretty much the side deck in my opinion.
Alright, so for this particular combo, which I'm going to move this a little bit up so we'll have a little bit more space, there is going to be needed only 3 cards for this one to achieve. Actually, 3 cards. Only 3 cards is just saying like way too little. Like 3 cards is a big combo, but not really that worse. Anyway, it's a 3-card combo that for simplicity's sake, we're going to use these 3. You could do it with any other combination of some particular cards, like, for example, like this could be like Garuda, or this could be like, what are called? Failings, and this can also be Gold Star. It could be different kind of extenders, but for simplicity's sakes, I'm going to use the 3 basic ones, which are those 3. So let's jump right into it. So starting things off, you're going to activate Dragon Shrine, or should I say Dragon Ravine? Sorry, Dragon Shrine is something else entirely. You're going to discard the Dark Worm to then pretty much search to your hand the first Kuz. You could search your Failings, but I just want to make a point that you don't really need more than 1 Failings for a combo. Then you're going to normal summon, actually no, you're going to special summon Supreme King Gates, Supreme King Darkworm to then just search Gate 0. God, I'm very, very tired, I'm sorry about that. When I'm filming this, I'm just really, really tired. Then you're going to normal summon the Senatus, discarding the Kuz. Now, one thing I would say, Gate 0 is not really that useful for this combo, it's just here for like grabbing you like another +1, I guess, for later. For some combos, it is important, but for this basic combo, it just doesn't really matter that much. So what you're going to do now is that you're going to equip Phalanx, because you use the effect of, what's his name again? Senatus. Then you're going to summon the Phalanx. You're then going to use those 2 to pretty much, actually no, those two, sorry. Again, a little bit tired. You're going to make this one first, because Loon specifically can use even this guy, even though it's not a winged beast. So that's really good. And then Loon is going to equip this, which then you're going to special summon this using these 2 to make the Guy Durg, which is pretty much what you want to do. Then Guy Durg will search for you Zephyrus the Elite, and then you're just going to discard Zephyrus the Elite to your graveyard immediately. And then you're going to use those 2 to make your Atum. Right? Right. Then you're going to use Atum effect, detaching specifically the Guy Durg to the graveyard, to searching, or should I say special summoning, the Red MD. Red MD will then special summon the Guy Durg back from your grave. Should move this a little bit around here so like it will be a little bit more understandable that this is the graveyard. Anyway, Guy Durg here. Guy Durg will not use this effect yet. First, you're going to use Zephyrus the Elite effect to add this back to your hand, which then you're also going to summon Zephyrus the Elite to, let's say, this zone. Then you're going to use Guy Durg effect by searching the Lycary and sending this to the graveyard. Now, it might look a little bit weird, but A, because we're not really using the Red MD effect because we're trying to make this future-proof in terms of like the so-called errata, and because of the fact that you don't really need Red MD in your hand, trust me, and this one's a little bit better for your end board to search, so trust me on that one. Then what you're going to do is that because these 2 are dragons, you're going to use those 2 to make your Romulus, which then Romulus, because you already have Dragon Ravine, you don't really need anything in that regard. You're going to search the Divine Lance, which then you're going to equip to your Romulus, which then is going to equip your second Kuz. Summoning the Kuz, use those 2. Don't summon Barcha to either to this zone or this zone. You can summon it anywhere else, but not for these 2 zones, so do remember that. So you're going to use those 2. Like I said again, you're going to make Barcha. Barcha will then equip 3 tuners, because that's what you have engraved. So we have 2 Kuzes and 1 Phalanx, which we're going to just proceed immediately to special summon. And I recommend to specifically summon the phalanx either to this zone or this zone. This zone will make it a little bit more easier. Next up, what you're going to do is that you're going to take one of the Kuzes, send it to the graveyard to make your Pisty right here. Then you're going to use Barcha and Romulus, which also goes to the graveyard because they don't really have any use. You're going to send them to summon Triple Burst. Okay? Okay. Triple Burst is really good because of, you know, the arrows and everything. So now we're going to use Pisty effect to pretty much summon from the graveyard, because, like I said, we're trying to make this future-proof, which is going to really happen in less than a month. You're going to summon Guy Dirk because the effect of what his name Red MD cannot really work. Then you're going to use Guy Dirk effect to pretty much search this, discarding the Baby Rock, special summon the Baby Rock. That's how that works. Actually, no, you're not using his effect yet. Sorry. You're not using his effect yet, because if you'll use his effect yet, this cannot work. That's what I'm trying to meant. You're not using his effect yet. You're going to use those two first. That's what I tried to say, actually. You're going to use those two first to make your Darkness Metal, the Link version. Then you're going to use his effect to do that. Because if you'll do that before, that will not work. So you're going to do that and then summon this here. Then you're going to use your second Kuz to make your Pisty right here. Then what you're going to do is that you're going to use those two to make your Crystal Wing to here. And then you're going to use this card effect to summon back from your grave the Guy Dirk, because that's what the effect does. And essentially after that, this will shuffle itself to the extra deck. So then what you're going to do is that you're going to use then these two. This goes back to the extra deck, this goes to the graveyard, and you summon your Savage Dragon, which then will equip Triple Burst to it, because it has the highest links. So yeah, it'll become like a 4200, I believe, with like 3 materials, which is really cool. Or should I say 3 counters. Then what you're going to do is that you're going to put Lycurry here, and then you're going to use LP effect to summon not this guy. This one is in my hand. You're going to summon Goliath from your deck. This one is in my hand, so I just mistaken the left to right. But anyway, this is going to be your end board. Savage Dragon, Goliath, LP, Crystal Wing, and this, as well as the Darkness Metal. But these are the 4 that matters. If your opponent kaiju this, you kind of half of your field is kind of turned off, but you still have 2 interruptions. But either way, like, you are immune to Lightning Storm, which is really cool. But that's pretty much it for that. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry for a little bit of mistakes in my part in the combo, but like sometimes I'm forgetting particular things and I'm filming this as I'm really tired, because there was kind of a problem in the original version which I had to change and re-upload again, which was fun. But hope you enjoyed regardless. See you next time. Remember, creativity is the key in this game. Have a good day and stay safe, and I'll see you next time.